How's it going, Crusaders, and welcome back to another sermon. Before we get started, wanted to show off the new shirts. Once again, guys, I'm sorry that I thought I printed off enough this year, but I didn't even get a chance to even say that I was selling them. I just went around my job, and last year I did 20, this year I did 30, and they were all sold in literally one day besides one small t-shirt. And, next year I'll do 40 or 50. We'll see what happens, but I didn't even get a chance to promote the t-shirts. So anyways, it is a huge blessing. All the proceeds are going to buying Bibles that I will be handing out in the year 2025. Extremely happy with the progress that not only this page has made, but, the Crusader Coalition in general, but God's army. I'm just so thankful that I get to be a part of growing that, and I'm just extremely thankful to everybody who donates, everybody who buys a t-shirt, everybody who supports the page, because, guys, you're not doing that to my benefit. We're doing that to God's benefit. This has nothing to do with me. I'm just the middleman. I'm just speaking. And when I say I'm speaking, every single time before a sermon, Bible study, anything, I always pray to God that He's the one speaking, not me. Guys, I don't want any glorification out of anything I do, anything I speak about, or anything of that sort. I just want God's message out there, plain and simple. So, on that note, guys, today we're going to be checking out loneliness. And I know this is something that a lot of people have felt, a lot of people are feeling, and, it's something that we all go through at some point in life. And this is something that I know all too well, is loneliness. So, loneliness, it's basically sadness because no one has friends or company. And me personally, I've always had friends, so this is probably something I've never had to feel, correct? Well, that's actually wrong, because absolutely, positively, and undoubtedly that is wrong. Because, and I know I've told this before, but, when I got sober, Crusaders, that was hands down the loneliest I've ever felt in my entire life. And, since it was just 3 years ago, which honestly to me feels like a lifetime ago, I still remember that feeling very well. Everyone pretty much already knows about my past drug use, and, just how dependent I was on not only nicotine or alcohol or marijuana or multiple different substances, but, all these things helped me numb the pain and do very well at distracting me from reality. And, literally days after deciding to quit everything at once, which seems like a good idea, right? Well, if you're going to do it, especially when it comes to quitting substances, to show how dedicated you are to quitting everything at the same time, you would think that helps you get better. But, I quit so many things at once, and I cannot tell you how hard that was on my body, my mind, and my spirit to go through withdrawals from so many different things at the same time. And, it literally almost killed me. Days after that decision of being sober, my two best friends moved back to New York, and one of my other buddies moved to Arizona. On top of, my daughter taking over my Xbox, I had no friends, no distractions, and no substances. And that's when Jesus found me. And, if you're going through loneliness right now, nothing will help you more than the Word of God can. And, guys, I can testify that and truthfully say that. You know, when you have nothing, it's almost a good thing, because if I would have had something in the moment that I had nothing, I don't think I would have grown as close to God as I did. Because when you have nothing, you're searching for something. And if that something just happens to be Jesus, it's going to change your life more than you could ever imagine, Crusaders. And it's not me just preaching something that isn't true. It is absolutely 100% true. Jesus is going to help you with every single thing in your life: marriage, friendships, jobs, life in general. You just have to put the trust in Him. So guys, as always, we're going to check out 3 Bible verses. The first one coming from John, one of my favorites. And we're going to check out John 14:18. And, you might look at this and you might not really think that this goes along with loneliness, but if you really think about it, it does. And that's why I wanted to add this in there. So, John 14:18. And hold on one second, let me find where I'm at. Okay, John 14:18. The title of this verse is "A Comforter Will Come," and we're doing 14:18, but 14:15 we did a sermon on obedience. So literally just 3 verses down, we're doing a completely different sermon on loneliness. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Jesus felt loneliness more than anybody on the face of this earth ever could. So if you think that one person if one person would want to help you through something like that, it's going to be Jesus. You just have to call out to Him. So basically what I'm saying is, take your lonely thoughts, feelings, and heartaches to Him, and He will give you comfort, grace, and hope, unlike anything this world could ever give you, Crusaders. If you're trying to fill that loneliness with a substance or different types of activities that is more unhealthy to you than it is beneficial, you're just wasting your time, and it's going to hurt you more in the end than what it's benefiting you now. So if you're feeling loneliness, a comforter will come, and His name is Jesus Christ, Crusaders. So we're going to jump over to our second Bible verse, which is Deuteronomy. I'm actually reading Deuteronomy right now. I'm almost done with it. Very good book. So we're going to check out Deuteronomy 31:8. Title of the verse, and like I said, we're doing 31:8 on loneliness, and 31:6 we did a sermon on trials. So once again, 2 verses down, we're doing a completely different sermon. Title of the verse: Moses encourages Israel. So the verse says, "And the Lord, He it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed." So, enough about myself. I want to talk about the man who has been the sole reason of my sobriety, the reason I'm able to do a sermon on this subject, and by the grace of God, I will never feel that unbearable feeling of loneliness again. Jesus Christ. So, Jesus lost his adopted father, Joseph. He mourned at the beheading of his cousin, John. He also watched thousands of his followers leave him and his closest friends abandoned him during his unjust prosecution. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you want to talk about loneliness. Jesus felt something that we could never even imagine when it comes to loneliness. You know, Jesus was misunderstood by family and friends and despised by religious leaders. He was also betrayed by some of his disciples. You know, Jesus was constantly surrounded by sinners and demonic powers. Jesus suffered loneliness in the garden right before he was fixing to die. Jesus often withdrew from preaching and speaking to others by his lonesome to pray. And even on the cross in Mark 15:34, Jesus felt loneliness and forsaken by God, saying, and I'm sure this is something we've heard a million times, but God saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? Nothing when it comes to loneliness that every single person on the face of this earth will feel, if you combine them all, will feel any type of loneliness comparable to Jesus on that cross saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? So these are all multiple reasons and ways Jesus experienced this subject on a level we couldn't even comprehend. So when you think even for a second about what he went through for us, we need to realize he doesn't want us to experience even 1/10 the loneliness he felt. And if we bring that feeling to him, he will destroy every thought that involves the word loneliness, all because the love he has for us. And, you know, that's as honest as I could possibly be when it comes to the subject of loneliness. Just look at what Jesus went through. And he would never want us to feel that way. So if we take that feeling to him, it's going to be demolished. So finally, Crusaders, we're going to jump over to Psalms. And, you know, I feel like these last couple of sermons, we've been getting into Psalm every single time. So today we're checking out Psalm 23:4. You know, in the encouragement sermon I did, it was the entirety of Psalm 23. And today I just want to check out 23 and verse 4. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you've ever opened a Bible a day in your life or if you've ever stepped in a church 1 second of your life. I promise you, you have heard this. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. He's just saying no matter what you go through, no matter how lonely you feel, or a million different negative style feelings that you feel in your human body, put your trust in me and I will guide you, walk you through, and be with you every step of the way. So, guys, I just want you to know, like, Jesus gave his life for us. He conquered this world. He defeated the devil, and he completed his mission. You know, let him give you a comfort. Conquer and defeat your loneliness and complete you, Crusaders. And that's really all I got for loneliness, guys. You know, I know that feeling, and it's not a good feeling, but when you hand that feeling to God, he's going to take care of you better than anybody can, better than any substance can, better than any remedy, better than any activity, better than any hobby, anything of this earth. Nothing is going to keep you from feeling that feeling better than Jesus Christ can, Crusaders. So that's all I've got for today. That was the sermon on loneliness. I hope it helps somebody out. And I will catch you all Monday for the Bible study. Thanks, Crusaders.